This time,
Kirsty, help!
we're dashing to the rescue of house hunters in peril.
I'm surprised you haven't broke before now.
As we race against a fast-moving market.
You're in the eye of the storm.
Yeah, I agree.
Stop! God's sake.
Tensions may rise.
She's going to be a pain in the arse.
And expectations fall.
Oh, I don't know. Big no-no.
But hope is never lost.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I'm a bit blown away.
I think I might have got her. We're in East London, where our house hunters are finding the search for a home anything but child's play.
I'm with a young couple desperate to get on the property ladder, but finding that first rung out of reach.
And I'm with a couple who sold their house last year, got off the roundabout, and are now struggling to get back on it. And yes, we do take our work seriously.
And the buyers seem to be getting younger and younger.
You realise it could be that we're just getting older, Kirsty.
Speak for yourself, Phil. At least we've got 2 decades of experience on our side.
Across its 10 boroughs, East London is home to nearly 3 million people. It's huge and in very high demand.
We'll be searching in popular areas such as Stratford, which has seen a 9% increase in prices over the last year, and Upminster, where the average property costs nearly £300,000 above the national figure.
The London market has always been fast and furious, but right now it feels completely out of control. A long way from ideal for our first set of house hunters, who are East London born and bred. Barry is a sales manager for a men's accessories company, and his wife Natasha is a full-time homemaker.
I describe Tash as very tidy, very well organised, very driven. I don't know what else.
Thanks.
Beautiful woman, obviously.
How would I describe Barry? Very caring, hard-working, and always wants to make me happy.
It's true. Keep on her good side.
Happy wife, happy life.
Words to live by, as these 2 have been for the last 20 years, along with their sons, 19-year-old James and Jack, who's 10.
They're great kids. Best of buddies.
Even with the age gap.
Yeah.
But their family life seems to be on pause. 8 months ago, they sold their beloved home in the leafy suburb of Emerson Park, where they'd lived for 9 years.
Oh! My friends think we're crazy for selling our last house. We'd done everything we wanted to do to it. It looked lovely. I think we just have to drive, create something else again. And I think that's part of us and our lives together and the kids.
Love it all. But it's hard work.
As a stopgap, they moved into rented accommodation in close-by Upminster. So they'd be ready to pounce on the perfect place. But nearly 20 grand in rent later, cramp is beginning to set in.
I don't feel settled. It doesn't have the family space that we had before. We just feel a bit separated, and I find that's a bit tough.
Barry and Natasha have been canny with property. They've moved 4 times in 20 years, buying, renovating and then reselling.
Needs a bit of work, but that's fine.
Allowing them to climb the tricky London property ladder. This has given them an impressive £1.2 million budget. But even at this level, there's huge competition and very little to choose from.
The estate agents have got a list of 10, 12, 20 people all queuing up to get into that property.
It goes on the market one day and it can be sold the next.
A ferocious market like this calls for split-second decision-making. Every detail needs to be nailed down, something this pair are still working on.
Part of our property search is catchment areas for schools for Jack.
Yeah, for me it's more about commute. So as long as I'm close to a station, whether it be Emerson Park, Hornchurch, Upminster, whereas Natasha is only looking in Emerson Park.
Yeah, that's right. Barry can move to the others.
It looks like if you're not on Natasha's good side, you're going to be living outside.
Good luck, Phil.
It's great that you perform well under pressure, eh, Phil?
I haven't buckled yet, Kirsty, but there are limits.
The fact that you live and really know the area makes me think, well, if you haven't been able to pull it off, why do you think I'm going to be able to pull it off?
Because you're the man.
You've been watching too much television.
We've tried.
We've tried everything we can, and now it's up to you.
Why the desire for a project?
Every time we've moved, we've created a better space for what our family needs at that point in time.
Yeah.
We need a house where everyone can have their own space, but then we can come together as a family.
Whatever it takes. Extensions, you know, new roofs, electrics.
The works, so long as it's in the areas and the roads that you want them to be.
Ideally.
Okay.
It has to be detached.
Has to be detached.
Has to, yeah, I'm not willing to compromise.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm just thinking, Jesus Christ. She's going to be a pain in the arse.
I know.
No, I'm not really.
Maximum budget's 1.2 million. Obviously, we'd like to find a house for 900,000 and then have the money to do what we want to do to it.
Yeah.
But if we found the right property down the right road, which had massive scope for once we've got the money to do it, then we would live in it.
But you are in a spot of bother here. You're spending a fortune on rent,
Yeah.
and we haven't got schools pinned down. So decisions need to be taken.
Absolutely.
So let's get cracking.
Let's do it.
Yep.
OK, great.
Thank you very
There's
much.
not a moment to waste in this runaway market. Natasha and Barry have worked hard to put together a sizable deposit and have an even bigger mortgage, giving them a maximum spend of £1.2 million.
They want a project and scope to extend.
It must be detached, with a large garden, on a nice street and close to a good school for Jack and train station for Barry. So my search will be focused on the smart East London suburbs in and around Natasha's #1 location, Emerson Park.
Whereas my couple want me to scour neighbourhoods closer to central London, with Stratford at the epicentre of their search. Sam and Molly are both professional musicians. Sam is a pianist and Molly plays the violin. They first met as teenagers in their hometown of Sheffield.
Molly was the golden child, a violinist.
You the sexy band man.
But harmony didn't happen for these musical youths until they reconnected 10 years later. For the past 5 years, they've been renting a small flat in Kentish Town, northwest London, with their dog, Raffle.
We're kind of bursting out at the seams.
Lots of music gear, kind of takes up every spare corner.
We've got a small second bedroom, which has to be Sam's workroom, and then I have to practice in the living room, and I'm really quite loud.
So volume is very much the issue, but not the sole reason to want to get on the property ladder. These newlyweds are keen to start investing in their own future.
We've probably almost single-handedly paid off the mortgage for that flat. It would be nice to be paying off our own mortgage.
Absolutely.
Sam and Molly had pinpointed East London because of its relative affordability. But in their 8 months of searching, the market has forced them to up the budget by a staggering $75,000 to $450,000 for a 2-bed flat.
In London, when you hear how much things cost, somehow feel like that's not a lot of money, and it really is. Telling people we've got a tiny budget, like $450, like what?
We're definitely hoping that East London will be a bit of an investment for the future as well.
These two have viewed 15 properties and have already lost out on one dream flat. But they're not just dealing with high prices.
So I'm 6'5". We're definitely looking for a place with enough vertical and horizontal space for us to exist and grow.
Fresh from their honeymoon in Mexico, this pair hope to start a family soon, but not until they're settled in their new home. It's brutal for first-time buyers, and Sam and Molly are like bunnies in full beam.
Sometimes we feel like, because it's such a lot of money, oh, what if it's not the right thing?
Yeah, it'd be really great to have an outside opinion that's honest.
Just having somebody to say, yes, this is good,
Yeah.
go for it.
The market is already giving them a bit of stick. I'll try and find them a carrot. I'm slightly disapproving of weddings and honeymoons prior to the purchase of the property, but I'm going to get over that. Tell me your top things that you're looking for in your new home.
More space. We're starting to think about babies. Garden.
Yeah, and get some fresh air with our pup.
What kind of dog is the pup?
He's a Jackapoo.
I had a dog before I had a kid, and it breaks you in.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping a baby won't lick our faces quite as much.
No.
Yeah, so I'd say we're definitely looking for somewhere with a bit of an East London buzz.
What does that mean?
So, I mean,
don't know.
a bit of, you know, a few nice bars, a bit of a community feel as well. It's just somewhere we can start putting some roots down.
Yeah.
So, how much work are you up for yourself?
My dad is a builder, which is handy.
I'm very cheered by that piece of news.
Yeah.
Because you know that anything can be changed.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Well, I think you drink up and let's get in there, because things are coming on so fast and going so fast.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's time to face the music. Right. Sam and Molly have saved hard, and with a little help from their folks, have put together a deposit of 100 grand and, along with a mortgage, have a maximum spend of £450,000.
They want a character property with 2 to 3 bedrooms. They're flexible on the level of work, but good ceiling height is a must for 6'5" Sam, as is a garden for Raffle the dog.
Along with good transport links, which are essential for their working lives.
So, what are we up to this week? Bit of house hunting?
Well, I don't know whether it's house hunting or armed combat. I mean, everything goes under offer, like, in a flash. And it doesn't just go under offer for a bit above the asking price. It goes under offer way above the asking price.
My couple live in the area. They were born in the area. And they sold a year ago thinking, right, we'll put ourselves in a great position to buy. It hasn't materialised. They haven't found anything.
And prices are going up.
Prices are going up. Spending a fortune on rent.
I think there's someone flying around here looking for properties, like, constantly.
Maybe that's what we should do. We're missing a trick.
There's no use us droning on about high-flying ideas when what we need is boots on the ground, Phil.
Let's storm that property market, Kirsty. I've got to say that despite all the odds, I'm pretty chuffed with my first offering for Barry and Natasha. We've come to the sought-after suburb of Upminster, with good transport links and excellent schools close by. Not only is this a great location, but the property delivers the project they're after as well.
So we're kicking things off in Upminster, so Barry will be happy.
I'll be very happy, yeah. Not so sure about Tash.
Happy anyway, because we're not in Emerson Park. But we are going to see a lovely bungalow, tons of opportunity.
But it just looks a little small.
I want to show you around, because I think there's lots that you could do with it.
OK.
Let's have a look.
The current layout and decor are fairly immaterial, as Barry and Natasha would change everything to suit their family's needs. But as it stands, there are 2 good-sized bedrooms to the front of the property.
A generous lounge cum dining room, family bathroom and galley kitchen, which opens up onto a conservatory. The garden isn't huge, but there's enough space for the boys to kick a ball around.
With an asking price of £700,000, it's a meaty 500 grand less than their maximum £1.2 million budget. But the scope of the project here is potentially huge.
We have detached bungalow is on at £700,000.
Oh,
OK.
So, you know, seriously in comfort zone of budget.
It is.
And yet has terrific potential to go up, to go side, to go back. And there's lots of precedents, as you can imagine, around here about other people doing similar things.
OK.
But let's have a whistle round.
OK.
Follow me.
Bungalows like this are a popular choice for extending and renovating, and when done up, can fetch up to 1.5 million in this postcode. It's an important consideration, but first and foremost, this is a family home.
It's only coming out to the garden that you can look back and see the myriad of opportunities.
It's a great blank canvas, and it's ideal for what we'd want, but the garden's just too small.
Well, it's not if you build up or to the side and use it and go through into the garage.
The garden's a big no-no.
Big no-no. What can I learn from being here?
That we need a bigger garden.
Yeah.
The work doesn't faze us.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to be in Emerson Park.
Just maybe.
Just maybe.
Come on.
This is a great opportunity, but clearly not for these 2.
Tash is going to be hard to please, that much is clear, but I really like that she's direct and she knows what she wants. Whether I can find it or not is an entirely different matter, but I will be doing my level best.
This time, we're in East London.
I'm with Natasha and Barry, who sold their family home a year ago, but are still in rental limbo.
And I'm with musicians Molly and Sam, who also want to lay down roots, but are struggling to hit the high notes.
My pair are eager to find their next passion project, but low stock and high demand means they've hit a brick wall. And the first property I showed them in Upminster certainly didn't move them.
The garden's a big no-no.
As for newlyweds Sam and Molly, they're desperate for more space, but first-time buyer nerves are getting the better of them. It's proving almost impossible to find a flat worthy of their £450,000 budget.
Spending that much money on a property is pretty terrifying, to be honest.
And the speed of the market in their search area really doesn't help matters. Agents are telling us they've never seen anything like it. And honestly, in over 20 years, neither have I. We've managed to find a property to show them in Leytonstone, one of their top areas. It's got the East London buzz they're after, close by transport links for getting to gigs, and plenty of green space for Raffle the dog. But before we cross the threshold, I need to make a few things clear.
It came on Saturday, and we are Tuesday today, and Monday was a bank holiday.
Yeah.
It's had 30 viewings and 7 offers, and it's going to best and final tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Right.
Okay.
Good to know the facts.
Yeah. Still happy to go in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okey-doke.
I'm not surprised by the level of interest here. This ground floor flat is lovely. It's got the horizontal and vertical space they asked for, and is simply but stylishly decorated.
There's an open-plan kitchen, dining and living room, a modern bathroom and 2 double bedrooms, both with doors that lead out onto a substantial private garden.
It's being marketed at 450 grand, top of their budget. But with this amount of interest, who knows what it will actually sell for?
Ooh.
Good use of space. I think the way they've done it is quite clever.
Yeah.
Feels very airy and light. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been
Ooh.
clever with the storage, but actually what I think you will be most interested in is
Oh,
out
wow.
here. Yeah.
What a good size.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
What's going through your mind?
I mean, it's pretty impressive, really, isn't it? I think for the area and,
Yeah.
and the size.
I'd probably rather have the garden off like a living space than a bedroom in an
Yeah.
ideal world.
Perfect scenarios are all well and good, but unfortunately, we live in the real world.
But it does worry me a little bit because this is super nice, even though it's at the top end of budget. But it doesn't look as if it's floating Molly's boat that much. You just can't tell sometimes.
Give them a chance, Kirsty. I can't imagine the unorthodox garden access will be a deal breaker. This flat has lots going for it.
It's big enough to have a sofa and your stuff
And
in
my
here.
stuff, yeah, definitely.
Keys.
It could be that this flat has struck a chord, and the seller really sings with potential.
Wow.
Okay, it's quite big.
That's decent size, isn't it? Yeah.
Could use it as like a studio.
Well, that's
what you don't
that's what
need
I'm
light.
wondering. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Molly and Sam are starting to visualise themselves in the space here. Always a good sign.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting property.
It's workable for now,
Yeah, definitely.
and you could do stuff in
I mean,
the future.
yeah, I really love the garden.
I don't like the idea of any property having 7 offers in on it, particularly not when it's asking price at the top end of your budget.
Yeah.
I would try and do as much swirling around in your head as this property requires as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Especially as it goes to sealed bids in less than 24 hours.
We're going to need some help from above. And it just happens that a musician friend of Sam's lives upstairs.
Hey, mate.
downstairs.
This
I
is
mean,
Lawrence. This is
Hello,
everybody.
Lawrence. This is everyone else.
Hello, everyone else.
Can you put in a good word for us? Serious though, I'm serious about the good word. Yes!
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
it's
sign.
funny.
Good sign.
If Sam and Molly do decide to put in an offer, it can't hurt to have friends in high places.
10 miles to the east with Barry and Natasha, and I'm hoping for some good fortune myself. We've come to the smart suburb of Hornchurch. There's speedy transport links to the capital, excellent schools for Jack, and we're within spitting distance of Natasha's beloved Emerson Park. That's got to please her.
I'd rather be the other side of the road. because that's more Emerson Park. This is on the outskirts.
But it's only a road.
It is. It's a very noisy road.
But it's a busy road.
Yeah. But the house is set back, and once you're in it, you don't really notice it. Thoughts of the outside?
Potential. Looks like.
Yeah, potential.
Looks like you could do a lot with it.
It's a bit wider than the previous one, and the door's in the middle, so that's a good start.
Oh, I'm doing well today, aren't I? Come on.
OK.
I think we're all keen to know what's behind that middle door, Phil.
So this detached bungalow is in similar condition to the first place we saw, but is approximately 40% bigger, giving them more flexibility to create their bespoke family layout.
As things stand, there's a bay-windowed reception room to the front, small kitchen and separate dining room, 2 double bedrooms and 1 single, plus a bathroom with a very retro colour scheme.
There's also a garage to the side and a conservatory to the rear. But the real selling point of this property is the enormous garden. The guide price is £900,000 to £950,000, as much as 300 grand below their maximum budget of 1.2 million.
A bit speechless at the minute, if I'm honest, but the garden is a big tick.
Yeah. It's 130 foot. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's perfect.
And with all of that space, it means you've got opportunity here to extend without compromising.
You open this right up, you overlook the garden, it probably look lovely, but it's the road.
That may be the rub with this property, but it's got so much to offer. Hopefully, Barry and Natasha are starting to see that.
Garden's lovely.
Kick a football around.
And it's surprisingly quiet, considering how busy the road was.
I think it offers a lot more than the last bungalow.
Yeah, because it's wider in its plot size, so to build on the side...
It deserves a good old makeover, this one.
Yes, I'd agree.
Yes.
Not sure by us, though. But who knows?
You need to have a look around, Barry. Come on, we're house hunting on the front foot. We're in a difficult market. We've got to look for solutions.
Yeah, I agree.
There was me thinking Natasha was the one I had to please. Turns out Barry is just as discerning.
Study, maybe?
Maybe a study, yeah. I think it's too small for a bedroom.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bathroom?
Right, OK.
OK, that's pretty special.
It's OK.
Well, first of all, I found the right project, but it didn't have the right garden. Now I found the right garden, but it doesn't have the right postcode. We're getting there, albeit slowly.
Overlooking the garden, that's
Really
very
nice view.
Yeah.
And I think because you're elevated, you could probably put like a balcony type thing, which would look quite nice.
Barry and Natasha clearly enjoy the problem-solving process, and this place gives them plenty to think about. Maybe that's enough to win them over.
Happy smiling faces, that's good.
Better, definitely better.
Yeah, definitely better.
Definitely better.
You're closer, but not close enough. I am willing to compromise.
Really?
Yeah.
On what?
Just not the garden or the road.
Or the project?
Or the location?
The location.
Kirsty! Help!
Dream project plus perfect location plus rampant market. Maybe it just doesn't add up, even with a budget of 1.2 million.
Chin up, Phil. If you want to see what difficult looks like, why don't you join me for a bit? We're in East London's up-and-coming Manor Park to view a second property with Sam and Molly. It's an area they're not so familiar with, but their money goes further, and it's only 7 minutes on the train to their top spot, Stratford.
Oh dear, why the long face?
It's just something we're supposed to be seeing tomorrow morning has gone under offer for 50 grand more than the asking.
Goodness. Well, if they don't get here soon, then this will be sold. Hello, Sam. Hello, Molly.
Hello.
Hi.
I've just had a slightly disappointing piece of news, so hence my looking like a month of wet Sundays, but I think let's get into this house.
OK.
Off to you.
Thank you.
I may have lost my next property, but in the meantime, I'm thoroughly chuffed to be showing them an actual house, albeit with rooms of a less conventional shape. Here we've got a lovely bright reception room, recently renovated kitchen, and a modern bathroom, all with high ceilings. A must for 6'5" Sam.
Upstairs, there are 2 bedrooms, one for them and one for their music gear or future offspring. The garden isn't as big as the last property, but they could really make it their own.
At £440,000, it's 10 grand under their maximum spend of £450,000, which is welcome news.
Ooh.
I know. It's an unusually shaped house because it's been built sort of in the garden of the house next door.
OK.
Right then.
But actually, I've just got to get this off my chest.
OK.
We were going to see a house tomorrow morning.
OK.
And it was going to seal bids tomorrow
Yeah.
after we'd seen it. But someone has just come in with a bid for £50,000 above the asking price and they've accepted it.
OK.
And this has really rattled me.
This, I'm afraid, is going to seal bids at 3 o'clock tomorrow. If you like it, you're going to have to stand and fight for it. And if you don't like it, we need to move on because there's other stuff coming and going.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
This market is testing the nerves of some of the most experienced buyers, so my heart goes out to these first-timers having to make choices on such a knife edge.
The house is a slightly unusual shape. The garden is as well. It's long and skinny.
Yeah. Good length for the ball throwing for the dog. Just a little run.
It's a quirky shape, but I don't think that'll really put either of us off too much. It's good size. The road looks nice.
It's nice to be in a house.
Yes.
It's nice to be on the end of a street.
Yeah, it's a proper house. It's a grown-up house. Its own front door and its own garden.
Good point, Phil. And I have some advice of my own.
The first wee of the day should never be in the garden.
You're talking about us?
No, obviously talking about the dog, Sam,
No,
because
good.
there's a toxicity in dog wee,
Yep.
which is more concentrated in the mornings
OK.
and is more damaging to the grass.
Lovely.
You can go, Sam. It's OK.
Thank you, thank you.
Gee, thanks for the heads up, Kirsty. They may have their own garden to maintain here soon, so that might not seem like such weird advice.
I feel for them. You don't get the choice. You don't get the time to make decisions. This is going to see bids tomorrow at 440. Someone will probably pay
ridiculous, Phil.
455.
It's ridiculous, though. I feel like taking out an ad in all the national newspapers just saying, stop, stop, for God's sake.
I think that would take some time to work, Kirsty, and unfortunately Sam and Molly want to move now.
Definitely not getting as good a vibes off this one as the first one.
Yeah, it's not there so much, I think.
Despite what this place does have going for it, Sam and Molly's reaction is very different to what we had at Property One.
My gut would probably say that Leytonstone would suit us better. Feels like it has a lot more usable space.
This is really difficult for Kirsty and I because it's not an environment we like working in. And you're in the kind of the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Which means overnight, I would recommend you just having a think. If that goes to seal bids tomorrow, then you need to have a figure in your mind.
I'll do the lot.
Kirsty will lend you a few quid. Come on, let's get out of here.
Seriously, it's crossed my mind.
The most these two can offer for Property One is the 450 grand starting price. So we need a plan B. Unfortunately, properties are selling faster than we can find them.
This time in East London, we're doing some high-pressure house hunting.
For Barry and Tash, it's boiling down to postcode over project.
Having sold their dream family home 8 months ago, my pair have struggled to find the property project that delivers their long list of demands. And so far, I'm not doing much better.
You're closer, but not close enough.
I'm desperate to help Molly and Sam, but matching their money to this market is a monumental task.
They fell for Property One, the fabulous budget-busting flat in Leytonstone.
I think it's a really interesting property.
But it goes to sealed bids this morning. Molly's mum has come up trumps with another 2.5 grand to edge them over the £450,000 starting price. Worryingly, though, there are now 13 bids on the table. So I think our best hope is to make a personal plea to the vendor, Alex, and put our offer in at the same time.
As far as the offer goes, they haven't got any more than the 452,500, which is not going to make them, I think, anywhere near some of the other offers you're going to get. But I just wanted to highlight how serious they were and how we can make this work to suit your timetable. Brilliant. OK, bye.
We won't hear back for another 24 hours, so let's giddy up this search.
Further east with my pair, and for our third viewing, we've miraculously made it to leafy Emerson Park, where they used to live. This location is at the very top of Natasha's list, but properties here come at a premium. Kirsty's joining us, and she seems to have brought the weather.
I'm not going out in that.
No?
No, I don't care if Natasha and Barry are the nicest people in the world.
Your little grey Riding Hood.
Yeah. Sorry, we're staying out of the rain.
Great British weather.
Yeah, beautiful.
Welcome to Emerson
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Emerson Park.
Yeah.
Unlike the previous two properties, this isn't such an obvious project. But with their vision, they could turn it into exactly what their family needs right now.
On the ground floor, there are 3 separate reception areas: sitting room, lounge and dining room. There's a large modern kitchen and utility room, plus conservatory.
Upstairs, there are 4 good-sized bedrooms. The main suite has its own bathroom, and there's a separate shower room.
The garden here is over 60 foot. Not as big as property 2, but it does give them some flexibility.
It's being marketed at £1,095,000, 105 grand beneath their maximum spend of 1.2 million.
Interesting house, this one. It's immaculately decorated.
Can you see that garden?
I can see the end of it, so my initial thoughts are it's not big enough.
I thought you'd start to trade a few things if we got you into Emerson
Probably
Park.
not the garden, though. The
No.
the location and garden are key. The state of the house, it doesn't matter.
This pair know what they want, but with every house hunt, there's going to be compromises. It's just a question of balance. If they want to get out of the rental and on with their lives, something's got to give.
Feels like Tash has written this off really quickly.
Yeah, I think we're comparing everything to the old house, where maybe we need to sort of think outside the box, not write things off straight away. This is the best house so far.
Yeah.
Don't give up hope just yet, Phil. These guys are pragmatists, and this place has huge potential.
I think the upstairs is better than the down.
And the down could be amazing, with your knowledge. That's the thing about this house. The world's your oyster.
Yeah, it's definitely got more plus points than initially thought.
Finally, a ray of hope from behind the clouds.
What's up?
There's nothing up. But you might be having a rethink, that's all.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, I was sort of standing here looking out the window, being a bit despondent.
I know you were, but you see, you just needed me. I'm not saying they're going to part, but I'm just saying they're looking at it in a more positive light. My pleasure.
Well, I've had a good look round,
Okay.
and do you know what? The upstairs works so much better than down.
Really, it's good, isn't
I
it?
don't think you'd have to really change much.
Oh, OK, that's
Because,
interesting.
you know, this room's lovely.
I've got to get back over to the other side.
Oh, really?
It's nice to come and, you know, sprinkle a bit of positivity around. I'm off, OK.
It wouldn't be the first time that your pixie dust has done the trick, Kirsty. Fingers crossed.
So what do you think?
The garden feels bigger once you're in it than
It does.
is from inside.
Yes, there's definitely loads of potential. I can visualise how you could change it, but I just think the garden is going to be the sticking point,
OK.
unfortunately.
No, don't worry. Onwards.
I'm desperate to help Barry and Natasha. I really am. But I don't know if what they want exists even with their budget.
Back with musicians Sam and Molly, and we're working on a backup plan in case their offer for property 1 hits a bum note. East Ham isn't a top spot for them, but it's only a few stops on the tube from Stratford, which they love. It may not be as happening for our hipsters right now, but their money goes further.
It's a nice street, isn't it? Yeah.
Lovely
It's
trees.
Yeah.
lots of nice houses. Yeah, it's very green.
Straight in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This house is fresh to the market, and we're the first to view it. An absolute godsend in a market like this. It's the biggest property so far, and there's lots of opportunity for Molly and Sam to make it their own.
Downstairs, there's an open-plan lounge cum dining area, a modern kitchen with separate utility, and a shower room. Upstairs, there are 2 bedrooms, plus a big bathroom, and there's an additional room or potential music studio up in the loft.
The garden is a decent size, though Raffle won't be bearing any bones as it currently is because it's paved. But the real appeal is price. This house will go to the market at a very cheery 25 grand under their top budget.
Ooh. The asking price is 425.
OK. It's a really nice space. I like the ceilings.
cove,
and-
Yeah. There is a sort of strange grandeur to these houses. I mean, look at the fireplace.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves a bit of fancy, though.
Yeah,
don't they?
exactly. You've seen me. I mean, I'm decked out like a bloody chandelier.
You're a shining example, Kirsty. Let's hope Molly and Sam are similarly lit up by this place.
It's quite a lot to take in, isn't it?
It's a lot to take in. It's just, yeah.
We haven't seen anything anywhere near this big.
I am quite surprised that this is in our budget, to be honest. It gives you a very different perspective on what's possible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Definite curveball.
Yeah.
With prices soaring in their key search areas, this could be a real opportunity to bypass the sealed bid shenanigans.
When it moves like this, you've got to be there. It will really end up costing you. It's unfortunate and it's unfair, but as Phil says, we can only work within the market that we're in, much as I'd like to change it.
And if you can't change the market, the only thing you can change are your requirements. And in this case, that means location.
We're a little bit blown away, to be honest.
Because this is, like, up and coming.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a bit silly for spending more money on something so much significantly smaller somewhere else, but then... Oh, I don't know.
There is a lot to think about, guys.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to the pair of them. This situation is completely overwhelming.
It is the thing. This happens a lot.
Don't worry.
You'd be amazed.
I'm surprised you haven't broke before now.
It's not easy, this. It really isn't.
I think
I
so.
don't want to push you. I don't want to drag you off to a pub and sit there and go through all this when I know, I can feel and see that you two need to go home. We know where we are. We've got one offer in on property one.
Yeah.
Which would be a miracle if it came through, but miracles occasionally happen.
Yeah.
We've dismissed property 2.
Yeah.
And this property is a whole lot of new things to think about.
It certainly is.
That's a good sum up.
Whichever way you look at it, tonight is going to be tough for Molly and Sam. We just have to hope the property gods are on our side.
Back with Barry and Natasha, and with no houses in the running, I'm trying a different tack for our final property in their beloved Emerson Park.
I found this search pretty difficult, but I've got really high hopes for this. It's a good house, loads of opportunity in the most fantastic location. If they want postcode, this is it.
Consider me intrigued, Phil.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
You said at the beginning when we first met that for the right opportunity, you would consider stretching the budget and then worry about doing the work in years to come. But it had to be on the right street.
I like this street.
This is one of our preferred streets.
And there's a lot of opportunity
You
here.
can change the house, but not the street.
You said it. Come on, let's
Okay.
have a look.
That's more like it. Happy, smiling faces outside. And inside is just as impressive.
The ground floor gives them plenty of scope to create their own layout. But for now, there's a large living room, separate family room, and spacious open-plan kitchen dining room. Upstairs, there's a main suite with its own bathroom, 3 further double bedrooms, plus family bathroom.
The loft has been converted into a huge recreation room, ideal for their 2 boys. The garden shouldn't be an issue this time, as it's large enough to hide an exciting surprise at the bottom, but we'll come to that later. At $1,395,000, it is 195 grand above their maximum spend of 1.2. But it's been on a while, and the owner is keen to sell, so there might be some flexibility in the price.
So we've got sort of formal living room at the front, and then coming through, this has all already been opened up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's quite a lot more that you could do to it. It's on the market at just under 1.4.
Okay.
All right.
It's smaller than I thought,
Yeah.
but I'm interested to see more.
At 2,500 square feet, this place is certainly not petite. In fact, it's the largest house so far. So I'm glad Natasha is keen to keep looking.
Wow. It's a great room.
Well, I'm a bit blown away because I didn't expect it.
Great for the boys. Really like up here.
I've got a much, much bigger surprise.
Bring it
Okay.
What a tease you are, Phil.
I have my moments.
We've got a way to go, so you'll have to keep up.
on. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Eating area, entertaining area, and then
We've got another house.
we've got
Right.
2 self-contained 1-bedroom annexes.
Wow.
Well, you said it's a surprise, but I think I'm a bit in shock.
Have a look.
Okay, thanks.
There's a big smile. You can't help smiling. I think I might have got her.
Each annex has its own stylish living space,
Oh, wow.
with modern kitchen, separate double bedroom and bathroom.
What a lovely surprise.
I could live here.
You can have this one, I'll have the other one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
And they could even rent them out to help fund the work, or, thinking long-term, bachelor pads for the boys.
Yeah,
Really works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Well, I know that this is the right postcode, and I know that the garden is the right size, and I know that there's loads of potential in the house.
Sometimes it's good to know it all.
But what I don't know is whether the £1.4 million price tag is too much of a stretch, even with some flexibility.
There's loads of potential. The only thing is the budget and how much that work will cost.
But it is also very livable at the moment, so we could sit in and wait till we had the money. But it's really what we could get it for.
Let's go and have a drink.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I think I've deserved it.
This house could change everything for Barry, Natasha and the boys, but we're a long way from a done deal.
Despite a tough search here in East London, we've managed to find Molly and Sam 2 contenders. Property 1, the fabulous flat in Leytonstone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And Property 3, the house in East Ham.
I am quite surprised that this is in our budget, to be honest.
But overnight, they've decided against Property 3, leaving all our hopes pinned on Property 1. And with 14 offers now on the table, including theirs, tensions are running high. We're expecting news later today.
There's no shortage of stress here either for Natasha and Barry. The last house in Emerson Park seemed to nail the postcode, the garden and the project. But the asking price is 195 grand over their maximum budget. It's just shy of 1.4 million, so we need to come up with a magic number that will make it doable for them and acceptable to the vendor.
Talking to the agent, the owner has turned down an offer of 1.15, and we know there is an offer on the table somewhere in the mid 1.2s by someone who is unproceedable. You are fully proceedable, you've got a fantastic deposit, cash ready to go.
Yeah. I think that the offer at 1.15 is probably the right offer for that house in that condition, and we wouldn't pay anywhere over that.
Would you offer 1.15?
We would.
Yeah.
At times, I didn't think we'd get this far. We found the right house, but I don't think we've got the right number.
I'm really happy to call the agent, but I don't think we'd get anywhere.
No, that's fine.
A formal offer at that level isn't the right move, but I think it's worth calling the agent and at least having a conversation.
At the 1.15, they would be interested, but they're not expecting your client to accept it. However, if time goes on, and she was minded that that figure would work, then they are there.
Good job, Phil. It's always worth keeping the channels of communication open, because you never know. As for Sam and Molly, I have news from Leytonstone. They offered £452,500, just over the 450 grand asking price. But the property gods have not been kind.
The offer that they were leaning to was for 500,000 from a first-time buyer.
We just can't match that kind of money, really, sadly. That's the bottom line.
I hear you loud and clear.
We do really appreciate all the effort, you know, really trying to
Not
make,
at all.
you know, really trying to make this work. So, you know,
I feel that you're nearly there.
we've got to be right, you know.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game.
Please stay in touch.
All right.
Okay,
Bye.
Speak soon. Thank you. All right.
Yep.
That's that then.
So the search continues for Sam and Molly. As for Barry and Natasha, they went back to view Property 4 in Emerson Park and decided to make an offer of £1,155,000.
We liked it. We felt that was the right offer for the house.
Sadly, though, after a nail-biting couple of days, their offer was declined.
It was a shame, but we didn't want to pay any more than that.
Everything happens for a reason. It will all work out for the best, I'm sure.
I love their sense of purpose, add a bit of flexibility into the mix, and they have the magic formula.
We learned a lot actually during the process. We feel what it's taught us is It'll be a nice idea to find something done so we can spend more time as a family rather than spending our weekends doing a house up.
So the plan for now is to stay in rented accommodation in Upminster and keep their ears to the ground.
We've just got to be ready to pounce if something comes up that suits what we want.
I am hopeful. I'm still fussy, but we'll see.
We certainly will. I wish them the very best of luck.
As for Sam and Molly, a few days after we left them, this property came on in Forest Gate, close to our property 3. They had to really stretch themselves, but we advised them on their offer and they secured the house for $481,000, 19 grand under the asking price.
So the property is a 3-bedroom terraced house.
Dining
Nice.
room.
It's got a dining room,
Yeah.
2 reception rooms,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Just like settle into the area, start building a life and eventually some more babies.
But for now, their canine kid raffle is enough to cope with, as these two are going to have their hands full with DIY.
I think our big one is going to be getting the garden into a really nice state.
I'm really excited to be able to put our own stamp on a place.
After years of renting, the dream of their first home is finally becoming a reality.
Having Kirsty's input definitely helped us realise that we needed to push ourselves to get what we wanted.
We're really looking forward to moving in.
Yeah.
I could not be happier for them. If you'd like help finding your next home, then we want to hear from you. You can apply online at channel4.com/take part.